Toyota 4Runner, 40th anniversary. Yes, the 4Runner has been out for 40 years now, and it seems like this current generation has been out the majority of that 40 years. Today we're gonna go for a drive, and I'm gonna tell you if you should wait for the next generation or if you should splurge for this aging dinosaur. Let's talk about this 40th anniversary. Oh, there's a 4Runner right there. Hello. You couldn't tell. That could be 10 years old. You just don't know. Let's talk about the 40th anniversary edition because it does bring some unique flair to the 4Runner, which it's kind of needed to kind of separate itself, to be honest. So this is actually based off the SR5 grade, which I'm actually pretty happy with how this is equipped. But on the outside, we have the bronze wheels that look pretty cool. You also have the heritage racing stripes on the outside, on the front grille, as well as on the side of the vehicle. They don't really show up well on this Barcelona red, but there's only 4,040 of these, so you don't have a lot of choice for paint colors. You just get white, black, or this Barcelona red. Now also on the back right, you get that unique 40th anniversary edition badge, which looks pretty cool. I like the bronze nature of it. Under the hood is as ancient as the rest of the vehicle. The 4-liter V6, 270 horse, 278 pound-feet of torque, made it to a 5-speed auto, pedal down. There it goes. I didn't put pedal down all the way, but it is decisive with its gears, and I feel like it's much more happy at home here in this SR5 grade than when I tested it last year in the TRD Pro model. But let's go to Kirk in the past, and he's gonna break down this interior for you. My favorite 40th anniversary detail is the generations stamped, or as you can say, stickered onto the tailgate. Tailgate even has speakers above, so it would be a vehicle to literally tailgate in as you have this stereo system coming from above. You gotta love the household plug-in for 400 watts, but if this becomes a hybrid in the future, that could be boosted by an additional 2,000 watts like we see in the new Tacoma. There's a 12 volt there, lots of space for you guys to do your tailgating or whatever, just sitting in the back of here. Large 4Runner mat, and just the amount of cargo space in here. It's over 45 cubic feet of cargo space, and you can fold down the seats in a lot of different ways. So we have the middle one. Now if you want to fold the seat down, you actually have to pull up the front cushion first, and then you can also recline this one. I didn't realize this had a reclining piece to it, which I love if you're going on road trips. But pressing this folds it forward, but guess what? This is not working. You're gonna have to take the headrest off and then fold it down. Now on the other side, you gotta make sure the center cushion is not down because this is tied to the center cushion. But now we can fold this down. But again, the headrest. So there you have it, with the seats all folded down and out of the way. Almost 100 cubic feet of space inside here, which is incredible for this massive boxy vehicle. The 4Runner's been around for so long that the interior is literally getting some retro charm, and I'm starting to like it more than I did about a year ago when I last reviewed it. And the back seat, I actually have still plenty of headroom back here. It's getting close, but the roof dips up. I don't know if you guys can see that curvature. I have auto down and up windows back here, and the armrest and everything about this is set up perfectly for me to choose where I want to put my arm, and the handle feels super substantial here to close the door. A little storage space here. I love that we have map pockets on the back of these leather seats. Okay, that's what I heard going by. GT3. I love the fact that we have vents back here to cool us down, but guess what? USB-Cs, I feel like this has been retrofitted with some alien technology. Folding down the armrest, we have adjustable cup holders here with the rubber inserts. We also have those rubber inserts in the front, and a nice like soft leather cushy part here. I do have plenty of leg room here. This seat is set up for me at 6'1" and a pretty flat floor here, no surprise. Now in the front seat of this 40th anniversary edition, we do have some nice touches here. We have the badge here on the dash that has, you know, one of 4040. And we also have the floor mats that say 40th anniversary. Well, they don't say anniversary, but they say 4Runner 40th. And then you also have this unique kind of gold stitching around the armrests and the seats. The other armrest here, unfortunately, we don't have it on the steering wheel. I think that would have been next level. The window switches are still in an odd place for me. I guess it's handy if you have the windows down, then you have direct control this, but when the windows are up, it's not the easiest to put your arm on this second shelf here, and this shelf down here is just a little bit too low, but I guess it's a good pivot point for your elbow when you're steering with just one hand. I like having a bottom spot here where I can just rest my arm as well. And while the steering wheel looks pretty average, it feels so good. It feels very well put together. Now, I still have the same gripe with the gauge cluster here. And in fact, it's maybe worse than my memory serves me, is because we have this little shield in front of it and it reflects everything. If you're in direct sunlight, which is most of the time here in Florida, but we're getting close to summer, you can see the storm clouds rolling in. It reflects everything. And it's just, it really clouds from what I can see on the instrument cluster. This could be going fully digital, or at least a 7-inch screen on the base 4Runners for the next model. And the numbers here are just pretty hard to read since they are fairly small. Now, what actually has aged well, because there's so many touch sensitive controls and touchscreens coming out nowadays, is the direct access. Look at this, right off the steering wheel into the fan speed knob. No, there's no automatic fan, like automatic climate control in here, but this is way better than any automatic climate control because I have direct access to my fan speed, very, very close to where I want it. Your temperature controls over here, I actually haven't touched it. I just keep it on max AC here in the hot summer. If you're in wintertime, you probably just keep it on max heat the whole time. Very easy to play with these dials. And this is also where you push the air with the center knob. We don't have USB-Cs in the front like we had in the back seat. We just have this simple USB-A, and that's how you connect your Android Auto. There's really nowhere to put my phone. This is too shallow here. This is too shallow here. This cup holder is maybe too small. Maybe if I take that out, I could put my phone in here. That's probably what I would do because I really don't like it in this area next to the shifter. I also have additional cup holder here, obviously, in use. Heated seats here, and the next 4Runner, don't be surprised if you see ventilated seats. And unfortunately, this is probably going away. So let's just appreciate it while we have it, is the auto down and up window control. And that reminded me, we also have the 40th anniversary here on the headrest that I forgot to point out to you guys previously. The sunroof in here is actually fairly large, but it would be nice to maybe one day get a panel roof, maybe on a luxury trim of the 4Runner. Maybe that might be reserved for something like the Land Cruiser, the Lexus GX. This touchscreen is really small. The resolution's average at best, but at least I have volume knob, and the resistance to this volume knob is Lexus quality. It feels super solid. Same thing with the tuning knob. I'm gonna miss having these hard touch buttons with the new Lexus, or sorry, the new Toyota interface that replaces this software, but I could definitely benefit from having more screen real estate. So they're probably gonna put the 14-inch screen right here like we see in the new Tacoma, and then your option of a smaller 8 or 9-inch screen for base models. And the shifter even has that 40th anniversary stitching on it, and I like how it's curved like a trigger here. It reminds me of the Blackwing that I was just in recently that had a very similar molded shifter that was really easy to throw down into 2nd, 4th, and 6th gear. Obviously, this being like a 5-speed automatic, I just throw it into drive, but man, would it be amazing to have a 6-speed manual like the new Tacoma in the upcoming 4Runner. And the quirks of older cars are just kind of funny. Your heated steering wheel button is just hidden. Like, I honestly can't see it from my driving position at all. It would have been nice to put it over here with the heated seats, or maybe somewhere on the steering wheel like a button here. No, it's hidden all the way back underneath the start stop button. So what is it like to drive this dinosaur? It is actually quite pleasant. Besides the brake pedal, man, you have to press it about halfway down to get the vehicle to stop at all. It's halfway down right now. The car's not even, or the truck's not even slowing down. You have to get past the halfway point. And when you throw it in the turns, it has quite a bit of body roll, no surprise. And unfortunately, also when you come to a stop, there's quite a bit of pitch and dive forward. But it is all forgiven with like the smoothness of the powertrain and the refinement of the powertrain. It's not fast, but it does what you want it to when you want it to. And it is all forgiven with the hydraulic steering in here. It's not quite as tight as, let's say, the Nissan Frontier that I absolutely adore, but this actually feels more like the Nissan Frontier SUV version than the Toyota Tacoma SUV version, largely due to the refinement of this 4Runner compared to the Tacoma, which just was very rough overall. Now, the materials in here, like the Tacoma, are nothing to write home about, but the new Tacoma will change it to a little bit, and the new 4Runner will as well. But I will miss more than likely having these huge knobs in here for the climate control, like I mentioned, I gave you the interior tour. I just really enjoy how everything feels so tight and well put together in here. And even the doors, when you open and close them, they have a Lexus quality to them. Which, no surprise, it has a Lexus quality to it and build quality to it, because it is built alongside the Lexus GX and the Tahara plant in Japan. And like the GX, we get terrible fuel economy in here. It's not going to be much better than the GX with the thirsty V8. So I'm getting about 16 miles per gallon to about 20 miles per gallon, just depending on how I'm driving it. We got that Rolls-Royce convertible holding up traffic, no surprise. No, I'm not going to switch it in 4x4 today either, but I will roll into the gas here. I did a U-turn a couple days ago, and I tried to get into the gas. I wanted to see if I could get the wheels out, swing the back end of this. It wasn't having it. There's just no torque in this, and that's something that the next generation will bring. More than likely the V6 will be gone, like the Tacoma, but I much prefer this V6, this 4-liter V6 over the 3.5 V6 in the Tacoma. Anyways, that's another discussion altogether. But even though I really enjoy the smoothness of this V6, there's no denying that the lack of torque here is going to be rectified with the boosted 4 cylinders, as well as the hybrid powertrains that they'll likely put in here, like the Tacoma. Blind spot monitor is great to have standard on the 4Runner for 2023. I think that's an addition. What seems to be strange as I look at these side mirrors don't look at home here on this vehicle. They look like they're from the Toyota parts bin, and they should be boxy and blocky. And the new Lexus GX is already looking to fix that, but hopefully we get big, blocky, square-like side mirrors. I know it's a small complaint, but they just look really out of place here on this boxy body-on-frame truck. Safety features as well, even though I have radar cruise, there's a cross tour. Jeez, take your time, cross tour. Now the safety features, I do have radar cruise control in here. I haven't messed with it much, and the lane keep assist is actually pretty terrible. Ride quality in here and overall noise suppression is fantastic. That's something I was not happy about in the TRD Pro version of this. So the TRD Pro was over 50,000. This 40th anniversary is around 47,000, and I'm just a much happier occupant in this vehicle than I was in the TRD Pro. Like, the comfort in here is better, the road noise is much less, I don't have the droney exhaust. So yeah, no brainer for me. You know, maybe it doesn't look quite as cool as the TRD Pro, but livability is just so much better in here, and the comfort and the overall quietness is so much better in here than the TRD Pro model that I tested. So should you pull the trigger on the old 4Runner or wait for the new one? Really, you can't go wrong with either, even though I don't know all the details in the new 4Runner or when it's coming. Could be a couple years out, maybe end of 2024, or that's an old Saturn. End of 2024 or maybe 2020, early 2025. It's kind of hard to say. We know we need to get the next generation Prado revealed. That will be happening by the end of 2023. So there's just the time frame for the 4Runner keeps getting pushed back. In the meantime, we still have this amazing 4Runner. Toyota makes and sells a ton of these guys, and I'm starting to figure out why. It just feels so good and natural in here. It feels like an old truck that has been refined to the nth degree, besides a brake pedal that's trashed. But the rest of the vehicle, I find very little faults within it. And honestly, when I'm driving this, it feels Land Cruiser quality, Lexus GX quality. Maybe not the materials, but literally it feels like a Volt. It feels like a tank, and this thing will last another 40 years probably with basic maintenance. If you're a person that really appreciates modern safety features and modern technology and amenities, yeah, it's probably worth waiting for the new one. But if you spring for one now, trade it in, you're gonna get good money for your old 4Runner. But let me know in the comments below if you would spring for this tried and true, simple, basic, and proven 4Runner, or are you gonna wait for the new generation with upgraded powertrains? Well, at least when it comes to power and torque, you know, that's subjective when it goes to V6 to Turbo 4 more than likely. And are you waiting for the new design, the new interior amenities, etc.? Let me know down below which route you're going. And if you have a 4Runner currently, are you eagerly awaiting the arrival of the next generation? Do you plan on holding on to yours? despite what Toyota comes out with? Let me know down below. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you're subscribed for the reveal of essentially the Lexus version of this in some ways. The next generation Lexus GX will be shortly after this review, as well as the review of the Land Cruiser variant of this, which is called the Land Cruiser Prado in other markets. But definitely stay tuned. I'll bring it to you guys all on the channel. Hit the like button if you made it this far. Appreciate you, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great day and peace.